MSG is the home of the Knicks, and the Knicks are presented by Chase. It's Legends Night. It's the New York Knicks against the Milwaukee Bucks. But you know the real story. It's right here. The two new stars brought in the biggest trade in NBA history, Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups. All the physicals were passed today, and they are in the lineup for the New York Knicks, and they will start tonight as well. They cheered wildly as Carmelo Anthony made his first shot. We'll watch it all unfold together behind the retired numbers of all the Knicks legends. Good evening, everybody. I'm Al Troutwig in the Geico Studio Suite. If you're a Knicks fan, you really have to be pinching yourself, because after 2 years of penance with Mike D'Antoni and Donnie Walsh, the franchise now has been totally flipped upside down to be a contender in the Eastern Conference, bringing in a couple of extra All-Stars and giving up a lot in the process, like Wilson Chandler, Raymond Felton, Danilo Gallinari, Timofey Mozgov, picks, cash. The Knicks get Anthony, Billups, Ronaldo Bachman, the former Knick, Anthony Carter, and Sheldon Williams from Denver, Corey Brewer from the Minnesota Timberwolves. And how this all gets shaken out by Mike D'Antoni is going to be absolutely fascinating. But you can tell, with all the number 7s already in the Garden crowd, the Knicks are ready to embrace their brand new star. Enjoy it, Mike Breen, and Clyde Frazier. It should be fun.
Al, thanks, and hello, everyone. There certainly is electricity here at Madison Square Garden with the arrival of Carmelo Anthony. Now, what that means in results, it's going to be fascinating to watch that play out. But one thing for sure, Clyde, before he came to New York, he is one of the most dynamic scorers in the NBA. Anthony is a special player, a special offensive talent. What impresses you most about him?
His ability to handle the ball is 6'8". He really has no weakness. He can go left, he can go right, he can post you, he can come on the perimeter. So he can get anywhere essentially he wants to on the floor by creating off the dribble. And then he's a lethal shooter. And that's his favorite move right there, where he faces up to you, then goes up. If you come up, then he goes around you. So he's a consummate player, a lethal weapon, and they're going to unleash him tonight.
And he is 5th in the NBA in scoring. And look at the rebounding. That's going to be very important as well for a smaller Knicks team that need help in rebounding. Certainly has been a very long, drawn-out process. You wonder about his energy, but it sounds like he'll have a lot of energy playing here at the Garden.
Well, I'm excited, man. I'm sitting here. I'm in one of the best places in the world, New York City. I'm about to go upstairs and play in my first basketball game as a New York Knick in one of the best arenas in the world. So I'm excited about that.
Sounds like a kid in a candy store, Clyde, but he's not the only player. Certainly a key part of the acquisition is Chauncey Billups, and Billups has already shown he can win an NBA title, Clyde. When you see Chauncey Billups or hear his name, what's the first thing you think of?
I think of Walt Frazier a little bit. A guy that's unflappable. He thrives on pressure. His nickname is Mr. Big Shot. Obviously, he's a native of Denver, so maybe he wasn't happy to come to New York right away. But now I think he sees his opportunity, a chance to rejuvenate his career, as Mike alluded to earlier, off to a poor start. But now one of the more lethal three-point shooters and free throw shooters in the league is Chauncey Billups, and he's an excellent defender as well. So he has the task of orchestrating.
And you see the numbers, but as Clyde mentioned, in October and November, he struggled a bit, played much better in December. January and February, he has really played well, and he's top 10 in the NBA in both three-point shooting and free throw shooting as well. Well, with the additions, the Knicks still have to play a game against Brandon Jennings and the Milwaukee Bucks, a team right now playing with desperation. Right now, they're in the 10th spot in the Eastern Conference, 3.5 games out of the final playoff spot. The Knicks debut of Carmelo Anthony, electricity here at Madison Square Garden, all coming up here on
CLA. Number 12, Luke Baamute. At center, at 7 feet from Melbourne, Australia, number 6, Andrew Bogut. And at the guards, at 6'1", from Oak Hill Academy in Virginia, number 3, Brandon Jennings. And at 6'6", from Miami of Florida, number 15, John Salmons. For your New York Knicks, the head coach is Mike D'Antoni. And now, please from your New York Knicks. At forward, at 6'8" from Syracuse, number 7, Carmelo Anthony. And guard, at 6'3" from Colorado, number 4, John C. At 6'7" from Stanford, number 6, Landry Fields. At center, at 6'10" from Gonzaga, number 14, Rudy Turia. And at forward, at 6'10" from Cypress Creek High School in Florida, number 1, Amari Stoudemire. Ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineup for your New York Knicks.
A rather dramatic welcome for Carmelo Anthony. Tonight being Legends Night, which will be a special halftime ceremony. They have the whole smoke and lighted entrance, so why not take advantage to welcome in the newest Knicks? Well, Clyde, the headlines have all been written. The press conference earlier today complete. The fanfare, well, we're seeing it firsthand. Now it's time to play basketball and do what you were brought here to do.
Yeah, and that's what Melo was alluding to, that he wanted to get started, so it's almost that time. The Bucks have dominated the Knicks, folks. They've won the last 4 here. They swept the Knicks last year, 3-0. So these guys have pride. They feel like the sacrificial lambs right now. But you know they're going to come out and try to compete against the Knicks tonight.
And you have to wonder, Clyde, for Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups, with all that's happened over the past 24 games, all the emotion flying across the country. Now you play in front of a raucous crowd. I know it's still basketball, but it's not the easiest situation.
Right, but it's an adrenaline-filled arena right now. Bentham in the Madison Square Garden. I could get out there and give it a go tonight, Mike. All this energy in the building, but that can only carry you so far, and then you got to play basketball. So which Knicks team will we see, Mike? Will they be trying to run and gun, or more of a half-court style of play here tonight?
Well, both Billups and Anthony played for George Karl. Of course, Anthony has spent his entire career in Denver prior to this. As for Chauncey Billups, he was 2.5 years in Denver, but they played an up-tempo style. In fact, Denver right now is the #1 scoring team in the NBA, so they're comfortable with a high-scoring offense.
Billups was averaging 5 assists, but Felton had such a nice rapport going with Stoudemire. See if Billups can develop that. He knows how Anthony likes to play, but he has to get accustomed to the other 4 Knicks. So there's a task ahead for Billups, and he mentioned in the press conference that he had the more difficult task, more difficult than Anthony, because he has to learn the nuances of all the players on the team.
This crowd is fired up. We've had some special atmospheres this season with the much improved Knickerbockers. Now so many of those players are gone to Denver. A key star and another 5-time All-Star is here. And we'll see if this team, certainly with all this talent, can mesh as well as the team prior to the trade.
Well, it's going to take time. It's something the Knicks don't have much of before the season is done. But remember, it took Miami about 18 games to try to get it going. So
even cheering winning the opening tip. They are in a rather joyous mood, Clyde.
Yep.
Alley-up to Stoudemire. And a turnover.
Remind me of Bill Bradley's debut. He made a layup, they cheered. He tied up his shoelace, they cheered. It was unbelievable.
Well, they cheered when Anthony hit his first shot of warm-ups. And already defense chance. Bogut flips it up and in. And Andrew Bogut was an all-NBA third-teamer last year. It's the first points of the night.
And he's a bona fide 7-footer.
You'll see Billups and Anthony get in the way of the Knicks as they're learning the new system. Stoudemire forces up the shot and banks it in.
I like what I saw that time by Carmelo, when Murray got the ball, Carmelo just cleared away, just kept going across the court to allow him to go one-on-one.
Knicks, of course, first game since the All-Star break, in 6th in the Eastern Conference, 28 and 26 overall. Bogut was an excellent left hand, misses. And Anthony, who's done a very good job rebounding this year, over 7.5 per game, grabs that one. Turiaf, the starting center now, throws it in. Even he's feeling the adrenaline.
Very aggressive play by Turiaf with the hook shot.
Turiaf now the starter with Timothy Mozgov, part of the deal, going to Denver.
And this place is loud, folks.
Bamute stripped and a reach-in foul called on Chauncey Billups. Let's take a look at our scouting report brought to you by NASDAQ and our man Brendan Brown.
Drive to the rim. Sotomayor did that early on. Corral Jennings has not been a factor thus far. Contest shooters, not a good job that time. Billups creating the foul. There's Sammons with the swish.
Well, the Milwaukee Bucks come in as the worst shooting team in the NBA and the lowest scoring team in the NBA. They just simply have had a poor shooting season. Not just one, but several of their key players. And that's one of the reasons why they're 12 games under 500 as Carmelo Anthony's first shot off the mark. Carlos Delfino lines it up. And a good save, Bamute. Clyde mentioned the Knicks have had real problems with this Bucks team in recent years. Not only have they lost 4 in a row, they've had some bad losses to them as Bamute travels. But so much of the past, Clyde, because this is a complete different Knick team, is not going to matter to Scott Skiles, as they really couldn't have a game plan for this new Knick team.
Right, and a week ago, Melo played the Bucks. He had 38 points, 12 bounds in 44 minutes of action. So look for him to try to get it going. Missed his previous shot.
Billups to Stoudemire. Stoudemire from outside. Anthony the rebound. Delfino thought he got pushed. And there's the first bucket in his Knick career.
And now a delay of game against the Knicks because Melo threw the ball awry trying to get it to the officials. So the next one will be a penalty against the Knicks.
Carmelo Anthony 5th in the NBA in scoring. Amari Stoudemire 3rd in the NBA in scoring. Jennings lines up the 3. That one way off the mark. He is struggling from 3-point range as well. 28th in the NBA. Billups. That's good. And a nice start to keep the crowd fired up.
That was vintage Billups that time. That's what he does best in transition, rising for the 3-ball.
He's 6th in the NBA in 3-point percentage.
2nd in free throw percentage.
Wait.
Take a look at Mr. Big Shot. Right there, cruising and bruising with the jumper.
As much was made about Chauncey Billups and the fact that he was so happy to be home in Denver. That's where he was born. As Sackles gets inside. He was born there, was a high school star in Denver, a college star at the University of Colorado. What would his feelings be about coming to New York? But he says he is fired up. Stoudemire, count and a foul. Billups caught him as a trailer.
You're talking about peripheral vision. That was uncanny peripheral vision. And we're talking about chemistry. Watch how he picks out Sotomayor. Right there. And Stat, one of the best finishers. Look at the peripheral vision. And Stat at the line trying to complete the conventional 3-point play.
MVP chance. This crowd is in a very chanting mood. All right, Clyde, for so much made about Stoudemire and Anthony playing together. You certainly had that when Earl Monroe came to the Knicks and it worked to a championship. What's the key for these two to mesh on the floor?
They can't allow their egos to become involved. You mentioned they are both prolific scorers. And, you know, what happens when the game is on the line? Who takes the ball? Earl and whoever was having a better game, that was the guy that took the shot. And also the respect, Mike, the respect factor for these two guys. Do they respect each other enough that they're willing to sacrifice their game?
Well, they have been friends as Salmon's shot is off the mark. They knew each other from high school all-star games. That's when they first forged a friendship. Also were teammates for the U.S. Olympic team in Greece in '04. Anthony against Delfino. He has got a lethal mid-range jumper. Jennings, nice pass ahead to Salmons, blocked by Turiaf, but a foul.
Salmons exploited the Knicks on the interior. Previously hooping off the glass.
Tony thought that was clean.
Let's take a look. He climbed his chest a little bit.
Yes. Well, we know that Turiaf did not complain, so it was a foul as Salmons will get to the free throw line. Reminder, our closed captioning brought to you by New York Lottery. Get the feeling, play Powerball from the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know.
And the Knicks are hoping that Melo can do what Salmons did for these Bucks last year, coming around at a trade from Chicago and igniting them.
Salmons, though, this year just 39% shooting from the field. Their leading scorer is the point guard Jennings, but to be fair to Milwaukee, they've had a lot of injuries as well as the ball's kicked. All right, Clive, from Billup's standpoint, you mentioned that he felt, and I think you agree, that he has the hardest transition in terms of trying to figure out tendencies of the players. As a guard, how long does it take to you figure that out?
Well, it might take several practices, Mike, but the schedule is against the Knicks with practices now. We know they have a real March Madness that they're facing, 18 games in 30 days, so there's going to be very little practice time.
Nice play from Fields, kicks it out. Billups, wide open three, too long. Hogan fouled by Turiaf, and that's a second foul on Ronny Turiaf. So he's going to have to come out. Sean Williams will check in.
That time Billups had too much time. You saw him aiming, crimping, priming over there, and it was too long. But this crowd obviously energized. They're into every play now as the Bucks will bring it up.
Turiaf, as we said, he agreed with the first call. He evidently doesn't agree with the second one.
Williams has been foul prone as well when he's gotten into games.
Salmons, a lot of dribbling, kicks it out, stolen by Anthony. Fields looking to push.
Poor floor balance that time.
Mute with a good defensive play. Bucks are one of the better defensive teams in the NBA.
Stoudemire brought his man right on top of Fields that time.
Jennings likes that floater. Mute the rebound.
Jennings is a very erratic shooter.
He this year just 38%. Such a fine rookie season last year. And lost a handle that time. He's been banged up. They've had a lot of their key players in and out of lineups with injuries.
Remember, Jennings was the kid the Knicks were maligned for not drafting. Seemed like he wanted to come to the Knicks. They never went to watch him work out.
Last year had that huge game. As Sean Williams fires away from the corner. That's a three, the next second of the night.
Williams currently second in his prowess from downtown now. Shooting over 45%.
Clyde, this is obviously our first game since the All-Star break and first since the trade. Overall, your thoughts on the trade? Knicks did have to give up a lot as Delfino's shot is good. Overall, your feelings on the trade?
Yeah, I like it, Mike. I mean, at first I thought they gave up too much as well, but sometimes you have to give to get, and we would not be here tonight without all of this hoopla and pageantry we've seen today, the press conference, if not for Carmelo Anthony. And I don't know of any other player that could have done more other than LeBron James, if he would have signed here with the Knicks.
One of the reasons why the fans have embraced him so quickly is he said he's wanted to be here. Fields with the stuff. Landry Fields gets the crowd fired up. And that's one of the Knicks that Denver was certainly interested in obtaining in the deal. But Johnny Walsh, Mike D'Antoni both very happy that they were able to hold on to him.
Now this puts pressure on Stoudemire to try to guard the center now.
Bogut way off the mark. Here's Anthony. Across the lane. Strip. And alone. Got whacked on the arm and now with a chance for a three-point play.
And now the Bucks want to talk it over as these Knicks are on the rampage. Anthony previous with the steal. This time wheeling and dealing off the glass. And he's like a point forward, folks, because of his ability to create off the dribble. There you see him right there. Watch how he gets inside. Slicing and dicing a couple of bunks. And the neophyte along the baseline showing his 39-inch vertical leap.
Chauncey Billups jerseys plus team gear, including hats, t-shirts, and more at nyknicksstore.com, the official online store of the New York Knicks. Carmelo Anthony wearing number 7. Of course, ever since he told Denver he wanted to be traded, it's been a long, drawn-out process that came to fruition here today.
I'm just glad that it's over with. My mind was, was everywhere. But at the end of the day, I still was able to focus in and play basketball. At the end of the day, that's what all of this is about. The decision I made, is based on myself, it's based on my family. We sat down as a collective unit and came up with this decision that New York was a place, to bring my talent.
Well, it was a long drawn out, and it had an impact on a number of teams, Clyde, including his Denver Nuggets. New Jersey Nets went through it. The Knicks impacted as well. Detroit Pistons. It was a hot story, but not an easy thing for a lot of players and a number of teams as Delfino knocks down another 3.
What about the Nets surprise move, getting Williams?
Wow, that was a shocker.
Yep.
Didn't even know Darren Williams was on the market. All of a sudden, he's a New Jersey Net. That's a terrific trade for New Jersey, in my estimation.
And I think New Jersey cost the Knicks, too, by getting in the Melo deal. Had to give up more than they wanted to.
Anthony shot off the mark. Of course, trades are fun. The fans are fired up for Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups, but there was also a lot of sadness last couple of days, Clyde. Nice feet inside and whistling a foul. And that's, fans get connected with certain players. And Danilo Gallinari, Wilson Chandler, and Raymond Felton in a short time really connected with the fans. So there's some hurt for the fans, too, seeing those players who gave it their all and were a big part of the turnaround this year with their team playing professionalism.
Yeah, I like what Mr. Dolan said in his speech. He paid homage to those players. That they will be missed, and he appreciated their effort. I thought that was a nice touch to it as well.
Last night they were in Denver. The Nuggets played last night at the Pepsi Center, and they brought them down courtside by one of the tunnels, and they got a standing ovation. They were interviewed on the Denver Nuggets telecast. And you could see there was some sadness with them, but there was also professionalism that, hey, they got a new opportunity. They're going to do their best and try and continue their improvement and progress that we saw here in New York and now do it in Denver.
I heard that only Gallo would start for them. Felton and Wilson would be coming off the bench.
Right now. Let's check in with Tina on that.
And, Mike, I have been in touch with Danilo Gallinari and Wilson Chandler since the trade via text. And, of course, they continue to say the right things. Gallinari keeps using the word tough. There was one point where he was packed but wasn't really sure if he was definitely even going to Denver. His agents had told him to just sit tight. As far as Chandler, he said the ovation last night made him feel better. He said all of a sudden you have to move, pack everything, find a place to stay, situate your family. It's difficult. Back to you.
Yeah, it's, all 3 love playing, and Moskov as well. Hey, Denver had to get as much as they can as a foul called down low. Anthony picks up his first, and the Knicks had to give up a lot to get a star player like Anthony. And Donnie Walsh, throughout the process, didn't want to give up that much, and he was saying yesterday how, as the negotiations went on, he realized he was going to have to give up more than he initially wanted, but felt obviously that it was worth it.
Yeah, again, at the press conference, Mr. Dolan cleared all of that up, the negativity that was surrounding that they were all on the same page, the coach, and so they all made this decision collectively so that they would sit down and talk about the contract of the general manager wants this time to do so.
Now, Scott Skiles is furious at something as Bogut's at the free throw line. Didn't see what it was. Perhaps a thought there should have been a lane violation. Bogut misses another. Tony Douglas had just checked in the rebound. Boy, Skiles is really mad at Scott Wall, the official. Williams. Anthony. Offensive foul. Nice defensive play from Baamute, who was an excellent defender. That's 2 fouls on Carmelo Anthony.
Anthony will have to take his seat now. Watch Baamute. That's why he's in the game. Defensive prowess. Good job.
Billy Walker will come in. And Anthony takes a seat. Walker is probably going to get the more minutes in terms of all the players since the trade who are still with the Knicks. Walker is going to get an increase in minutes, part of the rotation.
I like Williams, though. Williams can rebound, and he's a good defender, so I think he's going to be a beneficiary as well, Mike.
You're talking about Sheldon Williams or Sean Williams?
Sean Williams.
Delfino spots up again. And Walker the rebound. 5-point Knick lead with just over 3.5 remaining in the first. Sean Williams lines up that one. Salmon's the other way. Now the trading deadline is tomorrow, so there's still some deals can be made. The Knicks know they have to get some size. There's been talk about various other moves, possibility. Walker knocks it away, flips it ahead to Tony Douglas. Wasn't pretty, but it results in 2 points.
Whenever Douglas is in the game, teams have trouble. Does an excellent job of creating havoc with his D.
Defense, and that's going to be the key as the Knicks look to try and take that next step. We know how talented offensively. Stoudemire pokes it away, but Hogan gets it back. Ball knocked loose. Salmons is going to have to put it up. Shot clock winding down. Oh, and Billy Walker, a bad foul with 1 left on the 24. Mike D'Antoni not happy. 1 on the shot clock, he says. But the Knicks are up by 7. So Carmelo Anthony, the main player in the blockbuster trade. And Chauncey Billups, almost as important for the Knicks. And he spoke at the press conference a couple of hours before tonight's game.
Initially, I'm sure I wasn't probably in the plans, but everybody kind of sees the mentality that we play with together and the cohesiveness that we have on the court. And, you know, why would you break that up? So I can understand where they was coming from. And, you know, I'm from Denver, as you guys know, and I'm always going to love Denver and what it's all about. I'm like the hometown kid, but, you know, it's time to go. It was time to go, obviously, and I'm excited about this challenge.
He was saying it a lot even after the press conference, talking about energized. And that was hard for Denver to give him up. In fact, Josh Kroenke apologized to the Billups family because he knew how much Chauncey appreciated being in Denver's hometown. He talked about after he retired working for them in the front office, and he didn't necessarily want to include him in the deal. So a lot of emotions for Billups, who wherever he's gone, they rave about his character in addition to his ability to play.
Right, he's proven that in a couple of, well, we saw what happened to the Pistons once they traded him. They were never the same team, so the Knicks are hoping he can bring that experience here to a very young team and in need of an orchestrator in the backcourt.
Good hands from Bogut to come up with a play. Salmons has a path.
Good D here, right here by the Knicks. Good hands by Amari, and the Knicks have it.
You know, Clive, you talk about putting 2 scores together. Remember when Denver tried to put Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson together? It didn't work. Then they traded Iverson to Detroit and brought in a floor general like Billups, and that was the year that they went to the Western Conference Finals. So just because you have 2 prolific scores, it's not going to result in wins. You need to have a lot going on. You need a commitment to doing the dirty work to get your victories, whether it's defense, whether it's rebounding, whether it's sacrificing your individual numbers, right?
Of course, the harmony. You need the harmony on the offense. The Knicks shows something right there, a good pick and roll. But the Knicks still have glaring weaknesses after acquiring Melo. They still are a weak rebounding team, and they need stops. They give up 105 points, and they score 106.
Clive, we talk about you and Earl, and that works. Bob McAdoo and Spencer Haywood didn't necessarily work.
Right. That was a real calamity. Neither guy wanted to give up the ball, so there was no chemistry there.
Well, the year that Carmelo Anthony and the Nuggets went to the conference finals, 2009, and took the Lakers to 6 games, it was a very tough series. It was his lowest scoring average in 4 years. And his assists were up. He was a better defender. And after that year, they talked about how he was becoming a complete player. That's the kind of year and the sacrifice in the overall game they need for him to take the next step.
Yeah, and Stoudemire as well. He might have to give up a little bit.
Ilyasova just in the game rounds it in. It's pretty simple in a lot of ways, but they need to have both of them, both players who are just explosive, dynamic scorers. They need to have a more Billy Walker knocks down a 3.
consistent commitment to defense.
Yep, that's right. And they know that. I mean, Melo mentioned it in the press conference. He started talking about defense, so he knows what it's going to take to reach the next level.
Ilyasova, nice fake to get rid of Williams, and then banks it in.
2 consecutive hoops by Ilyasova. That time Juice been hooping along the baseline.
The 23-year-old from Turkey makes it a 5-point game. Tony Douglas.
Also, I think the onus is on Douglas, Mike. He's been labeled as a shooting guard, but he has to learn to orchestrate the team.
Well, Billups cannot play the same amount of minutes as Fields is called for the foul as Raymond Felton.
Right.
And that's where Douglas is going to have to come through.
That's true. He's going to have to take charge out there. We know Douglas can score, averaging 9 a game. So he's going to have to be a little more creative off the dribble.
Best news for Douglas is who his new partner is. Chauncey Billups is known for mentoring young point guards. Both Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook, 2 all-star point guards, said that their time with Billups this summer for the United States and the World Championships, the number one thing they took from it was the various lessons from Billups. They both raved about how Billups really gave them a lot of things to work on and things to help them with their game. He's been like that. He's been a mentor to young players for a long time.
And this is a crucial season for Billups as well. 1 more year on his contract. Next year, $14 million, but there's a $4 million buyout in that contract. So I'm sure he wants to play longer, so it's up to him as well to continue to play well.
Keon Dooling is in the game for Milwaukee. John Brockman as well. Steinmeier drives on Brockman, leans in, just barrels over him. And Steinmeier now with 7 points.
Steinmeier with bulldozer finesse. Tony almost with another steal.
Salmons floating away. Ilyasova right there for the foul.
This kid in the pass has played well against the Knicks now. He's got 6 points in the last 3 minutes.
In the past, everybody on the Bucks has played well. It's been one of those teams the Knicks have struggled with. As Douglas knocks down the 3. Tony Douglas 3 for 3 off the bench. He's got 7 points. Corey Maggette nearly poked away.
Maggette has been one of the catalysts for this team, averaging 16 points off the bench.
Shot clock at 6.
No fouls to give for the Knicks.
Dooling hoisted up. Won't go. Rebound Ilyasova. Gets it back again. And the quarter comes to an end. Carmelo Anthony had 5 points, couple of rebounds in 8 minutes before he picked up 2 fouls. The other new Knick, Chauncey Billups, hit a 3-pointer, had 4 assists. Knicks as a team, 59% from the field as they start a new era with the new players. First quarter complete here at Madison Square Garden. Knicks lead the Bucks 33-24. Meanwhile, his second game will be on the road this Friday on MSG. Friday Night Knicks is the Knicks in Cleveland against the Cavaliers. Live coverage gets underway at 7 with Knicks Game Night. Action tips off at 7:30. Friday Night Knicks on MSG. Knicks with 3 straight road games after tonight. In Cleveland, in Miami, and in Orlando. So some stiff tests early. Maggette drive past Walker and a goaltender.
Mitchell Maggette has been thriving off the bench. So he's averaging 16, had 20 in their win last night against Minnesota in Milwaukee.
The first meeting between the Knicks and the Bucks was way back on November 9th. Knicks got hammered. Douglas gets inside. Remember, the score was 41-19 after the first quarter. But as we keep saying, this is a complete different Knick team than that first week of the season. Tony Douglas, how about him? 4 for 4 off the bench. Maggette drives, lost it out of bounds. Nope, they're going to say now it's Milwaukee ball. Maggette can get to the free throw line.
He's the featured player right now.
Fields on Delfino. Delfino's been injured a lot of the year. Poked away by Anthony. Walker lobs it ahead. This should be an easy 2. And Carmelo Anthony's defense leading to that bucket. Good defense there from Williams. Brockman inside. Had a layup and passed it up.
Anthony's guarding nobody. Should be illegal now.
Delfino off the dribble. Doolin gets it to go. Veteran Keon Doolin makes it an 8-point game. But still, they've got a very good chance to make the playoffs. They're in, as we said, in the 10th spot. 4 games out in the loss column, but they have a lot of home games coming up. 6 of their next 7 after this game. And they're a tough road, tough home team. Anthony. Sean Williams keeps it alive. Maggette now in front. Good defense that time from Walker, not the foul.
Knicks had numbers were more balanced.
He feels a little out of control. But he draws the charge or draws the blocking foul on Brock.
Melo has displayed good hands tonight. Has a couple of steals, creating this one, and he's the beneficiary with the good stuff.
You look at Carmelo Anthony at stages in his career, and Amari Stoudemire, they both have the ability to be good defenders. Douglas backdoor, pretty pass from Sean Williams.
Yeah, defense is all about wanting to do it, Mike. It helps that you can run and jump, you're big and strong, but not a prerequisite of being a good defender.
Douglas, what a performance for Douglas off the bench. Delfino, scoop won't go. Bogut couldn't hold on. Sean Williams hands it off.
This is where Douglas should look to drive now. He's thriving. They've got to try to defend him. He should be able to break down the defense.
Anthony looking to post up Maggette. Trying to draw the foul. And still Nick Ball with 9 to shoot.
See, that's one of the problems with Anthony. If his critics say once he gets the ball, there's no more movement. It's going to stop right there. And the Knicks have been a team of continuity.
Douglas catch and shoot. It's his first miss. Anthony gets the rebound. Goes right at Bogut. Second effort. Won't go. Still battling, and Ilyasova can't control it.
But that time he saw how quickly Anthony can get off his feet. Missed his shot. Was right back up with the next one. Couldn't get it to go, but the Knicks have it underneath.
He's 3 for 9 from the field. You can see a little anxious. Tried the alley-oop and got fouled by Maggette.
You see, now that's the play that they just put in from Denver, where he does that curl and goes to the basket. So watch this now. The first game, they use a play that he ran so well in Denver. And they get a tangible result as he goes to the line.
I saw him do that against the Knicks earlier this season.
Well, actually, they say he was not in the act of shooting.
And it's only the second team foul. So Fields will inbound.
Now they're conferring.
Greg Willard, the crew chief. Very good official.
See, Douglas should look to penetrate now because they have to come up on him. He's been scoring. Again, will there be movement once he gets it?
Anthony blocked by Bogut. Here's the NBA's leader in blocking shots.
Nasty rejection that time by Bogut.
Bogut's still not right coming back from that very difficult injury. Maggette's jump shot is good. Remember, Bogut last year dislocated his elbow, broke his right hand, sprained his right wrist on that horrific fall last year. And he says he's still in pain. Sean Williams gets fouled. And we'll have a timeout here on Carmelo Anthony's debut and Legends Night, including your former teammate Earl of Pearl Monroe, who will join us. 1:13 remaining, second quarter at Madison Square Garden. Knicks up by 2. Be the first to represent the Knicks' new lineup, including Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups jerseys, plus team gear, including hats, T-shirts, and more at nyknicksstore.com, the official online store of the New York Knicks. Well, we're going to have Legends Night coming up at halftime, a special ceremony for one of our all-time favorites, Mike Saunders, honored earlier in this half with the Dick McGuire Legacy Award. Mike and his wife, Susan, Mike's son and daughter here as well. One of the all-time great guys and as much a part of any Knick team as any player for 27 years. Bob.
Yep, personified class, did Mike.
Was the Knicks athletic trainer, was assistant under Danny Whalen, then became the head. As Turieff gets the rebound. Great to have him back here in a building where he spent a great deal of portion of his life.
Yeah, the memories must be abounding now for Mike.
Phillips draws the foul on a three-point attempt as Doolin hit him from behind. Nope, they're going to say a 2.
Doolin had been superb with his shooting, but showing folly. Fouling Phillips on this play.
They're going to look at it. So Greg Willard, the official, is going to check to see if it was a 2 or a 3. As Doolin picks up his second foul.
Phillips 92% from the line, second best in the NBA.
He's hit 90% or better in the last 3 years.
Oh, he was behind the arc, Mike.
So was that Doolin's foot, or was that? You see Scott Skiles looking on.
It's where you take off, right? He took off from behind the arc. So it should be 3.
Doolin giving his input. They're going to check another one. That first one was not conclusive. The ruling on the court was that it was a 2-point shot. Foot was inside. Usually doesn't take this long. NBA replays usually pretty quick. Well, they've got the answer. And it's a 3.
Yeah, he took off from behind the arc and then was fouled inside of the arc.
I should have just asked you. Let's take another look at it. Clyde, you had it right. Yeah, this would be no question.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw Doolin's foot. I thought it may, but it was Chauncey Billups, so he'll get the 3 free throws. I'll tell you, don't forget, stay tuned at halftime, not only for Legends Night, but live from Boost Mobile Celebrity Row with Jill Martin and Jill's guest, Lala Vasquez, the wife of Carmelo Anthony. If you have a question you'd like Jill to ask Lala, go to msg.com/Knicks and click on Jill Martin. There's an appropriate guest. She's not only Carmelo Anthony's wife, she's a TV personality and singer, entertainer.
Who, Jill?
Well, we know Jill is.
She's aspiring.
I thought you called her Minute.
Gonna be nice to her, I call her.
Well, that's coming up at halftime. Knicks lead back up to 5. Phillips 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists.
Oh, he's carrying the ball, got away with it.
It did look like it. A pretty move from Salmons. He's got 15 points.
See, now that's inexplicable that he can start out 25 feet away, dribbling like that, and go in and make a basket.
Anthony, nice spin, and draws the foul.
You can see Carmelo is tight. He's doing his moves, but at the last moment, there's a little hesitation, so he's been missing those shots. Watch, he's going to do the spin nicely. But right there, he's thinking, and it's too long.
One of the underrated aspects of his game is how strong he is going to the basket.
And how quick. You mentioned his ability to get off his feet. Once he misses a shot, goes up quickly to contest the shot. And like Billup, a lethal free throw shooter, and he misses that.
Just not coming down for him. The Delta halftime report coming up. We'll have the Legends Night ceremony. And live from Boost Mobile Celebrity Row, Jill and Lala Vasquez. Look at Anthony. We have 2 guys that get to the free throw line. Stoudemire, 422 free throw attempts. Anthony, 417. You look at Milwaukee, the highest guy is McGetty, and he has 271.
Yeah, that's more like 8 per game for Stat and 8 for Melo.
Shot clock turned off. Jennings looking. Jennings just fell down. It didn't look like Williams bumped him.
But Williams didn't need body contact. All you do, the big guys need to show.
Smart play from Jennings as Williams picks up his 3rd.
Yeah, watch Williams. Doesn't have to be this aggressive. Just show and get back. You see, he drew contact.
That looked to me like Jennings initiated that so far. But a smart play to fall down. So Jennings, who had that great rookie season this year, he's had some injury problems, had that left foot surgery back in December. He missed 19 games.
What about Michael Redd, Mike?
Yeah, he's going to come back soon. There you see Harry Gallup, Dick Barnett, Earl Monroe, part of the Legends Night ceremony coming up. Redd, by the way, Clyde, just practiced for the first time. He's hoping to come back from another devastating knee injury. He wants to come back by the end of the season. Just had his first practice with the team the other day.
Yeah, that's why the Bucks are without a prolific scorer.
Anthony the drive and did not get it off in time. And that will end the first half. Anthony 5 for 14 from the field. He had 14 points to lead the Knicks. 5 rebounds to lead them as well. And 2 steals lead them in that department. As the Knicks shot 52% from the field and lead by 2. And after his first half as a Knick, he's without traveling.
Okay, Mike, it seemed like you really wanted those 2 shots in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, I did, man. I'm just trying to get comfortable within this, within the offense, within this team. It's new to everybody. We're just trying to play hard, trying to get the win, trying to work the kinks out.
How would you describe what you were feeling inside when this game got going?
It was a lot going on. It was energetic in here. It was exciting. You know, that was a great way to work with someone back home. And this, you know, this is the start of something new. And I'm excited about this, and I can't wait to continue doing what I'm doing.
Thanks, Carmelo.
Bye-bye.
Mike, back to you.
All right, Al. In his first game, you can see he's fired up. He's probably going to sleep well tonight. So, halftime here at Madison Square Garden. Don't forget the Legends ceremony coming up. And after 2 quarters, it's the Knicks 59 and the Bucks 57 from here at Madison Square Garden. Back at Madison Square Garden, 3rd quarter underway as the Knicks leading the Bucks 59-57. Clyde, your overall thoughts on that first half?
Well, the Bucks have shown good perseverance, sticking right with the Knicks. And what has hurt the Knicks has been the 3-ball, and there's another right there.
And that gives the Bucks the lead. First one since the opening minutes. Knicks led by as many as 11. And now Milwaukee back in front.
3-ball and rebounding. The Bucks have 21 bounds. 8 of those have come on the offensive glass.
Also, Milwaukee, as Stoudemire kicks it out, they took 20 free throws in that first half. Billups off the mark.
All of Billups' shots have been strong, too strong.
Both Billups and Anthony struggling shooting the ball. They combined 6 for 20. Although they've done other things. Anthony's got to the foul line. Billups has 4 assists.
Hogan has created problems for the Knicks. When he misses, they've been able to get the rebound. This time he's true.
3-point lead for Milwaukee, their largest lead of the night. This Milwaukee team, again, they've been banged up. They've underachieved this year, but they still have a chance for the playoffs as Turiaf gets whacked by Salmons. But they are a team that still feels they can make a run, get into the playoffs, despite some disappointing results.
Knicks have to up this tempo. So this ambulatory pace is not conducive to the Knicks, so they've got to try to up the tempo, but you have to rebound in order to do that, force some turnovers as well.
Fields looking. Stoudemire. Tough turnaround shot. Nice move from Stoudemire. You know, Clyde, just thinking, you know, watching Billups trying to get a feel. Remember how it took Raymond Felton a while? He struggled the first month of the season trying to figure out when the Knicks started 3-8.
Yeah, that's the transition, the adjustment period for sure. I think Billups, being older, Mike, has more experience. It won't take him quite so long.
Nice move there by Chauncey Billups. Yeah, I would agree, Clyde. And he's played for a lot of different teams, most of them earlier in his career, but still he's seen different sets as Delfino kicks it out.
So they're making the Knicks play defense. So Knicks doing a good job that time. Fields on the release.
Sets, puts up the 3. Way off. Hogan has it knocked away, but Salmons comes out with it. Fields had some fun during the weekend, All-Star weekend, playing the rookie-sophomore game as Salmons misses. Salmons just 3 of 9 from the field.
Melo getting into his rhythm right there with Senor there.
He grimacing even before he knew the shot was gonna miss. Just not right now in the flow.
This guy has had it going. Melo releasing underneath.
Nice pass. Carmelo Anthony the finish. Phillips with his 5th assist.
That's what Phillips averaged on the season, but that time the good ESP with he and Melo. Seeing Melo ahead of the field, a superb pass to find him.
Delfino back out Salmons. Bogut, bad pass stolen by Fields. Fields bumped by Salmons. And before the shot, so the Knicks will take it out of bounds. Second foul on Salmons.
That's what the Knicks need. Force turnovers up this tempo. Watch Melo ahead of the field. Billups. An excellent pass to find him underneath.
By the way, that was the 3rd foul on Salmons. Phillips. Stoudemire with the jump shot. Gets that one to go. Knicks have 3 players in double figures. 16 for Anthony, 13 for Stoudemire, and 10 for Phillips. Actually, Douglas has 11 as well, so 4. Tony Douglas had an excellent first half off the bench. Mute. Knicks will give that shot up all night.
Yeah. See Anthony now trying to get more into a rhythm.
Turiaf. Not a good pass there. It's only the 7th turnover. Delfino, the drive, can't finish. Mute blocked by Turiaf. Oh, what a nice recovery. Stoudemire gets knocked down. Mute trying to make him pay, and an offensive foul. Delfino steps in and draws the charge.
We saw Jennings do that as well. So some good flopping tonight by the Bucks. Well, he was right there. Nowhere to go for Phillips.
Yeah, good call. Again, Milwaukee's a good defensive team. They're 7th in opponents' field goal percentage.
You got to beat them by moving the ball, not by dribbling the ball. Bogue's been posting, but not toasting. See what he's got this time. He draws the foul.
And Turiaf takes exception and went to get in Bogue's face and then stopped. As Turiaf picks up his 3rd.
Watch Bogut, former #1 pick overall, folks, in 05. Jumping right into Turiaf.
You saw just a little shove afterwards. France and Australia. As Bogut hits that. Sunday night on MSG. What a test for the Knicks with their new roster. Star-studded showdown in South Beach. Carmelo Anthony, Amari Stoudemire against the Miami Heat. Ron James and Dwayne Wade. Knicks Heat presented by Chase. Live coverage underway at 7:30. That's Sunday night on MSG. 3-point Knick lead. Fields lights that left corner and nails the 3-pointer, his 2nd field goal.
And that's the time you saw the good dishing, no dribbling the ball. Just getting the ball to the open man. That way guys have to react, and then you can start beating them off the dribble.
Both teams have shot well from downtown. 5 of 10 for the Knicks, 7 of 14 for the Bucks.
That one's on the curl, Fields right on his case.
Mute. Looked like a lot of contact. He just missed the dunk, though. Phillips to Turiaf. Phillips looking to post up Jennings. Oh, pretty pass. Fields nowhere to go with it, though. Shot clock down to 5. Anthony on the pull-up. Well, he just has been off all night with his jumping. Pass behind Bogut.
Bogut sees an opening.
And Stoudemire, that's a goaltend. Throws it into the 3rd row.
Good job by Bogut keeping his head up. Watch when he loses the handle. Then he comes right back. See the Knicks breaking down on the interior and able to get the goaltend in charge.
Approaching the midway point of the 3rd. I said this earlier about Carmelo Anthony and Phillips and the rest of the players in those trades. Stoudemire misses. They're going to sleep well tonight.
Yep. Hit the road, Jack. That's what we'll be doing. Oh, Jennings was over on.
Pass inside. Mute misses another layup. Nice outlet pass to Anthony. A little too far, though, as Anthony goes crashing into the photographers along the baseline. 5-on-4 the other way. Actually, 4-on-4. Bogut doesn't go down. And Salmons hits a three. So it looked like it was going to be a Knick layup. Anthony couldn't get to it, and it's back to a one-point game.
The off-Phillips shots have been too strong. And Anthony's have been a rise, so I guess this is to be expected, Mike. All the hoopla, traveling, trying to make the transition takes a toll.
And we'll have a jump ball. We'll take a timeout. Carmelo Anthony 6 of 17 from the field. He has 16 points to lead the Knicks, but just couldn't quite catch up to that one. Carmelo Anthony's debut. And before the game, a big press conference featuring Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups. And at that press conference, Jim Dolan was the first to address the media and the crowd, and he commented on reports about a certain rumor that's been going around the past week.
Well, Isaiah Thomas is a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine. Hey, he was not at all involved in this process. He wasn't advising me or telling me what to do in any way. And any reports that imply that he was doing that are simply untrue and a fiction in somebody's mind.
Dolan addressing that, Clyde, after there were a lot of reports that said that Thomas was heavily involved in the process and Donnie Walsh had taken a back seat in the negotiations. But he said it was Walsh that really, along with Mike Antoni and Jim Dolan, completed the deal. And Isaiah Thomas, as you just heard, nothing to do with it.
Right. He said it was a collective effort, and that Phillips, a little deja vu.
Nice pass and Douglas finishes. And I think because of the way everything ended with Isaiah Thomas and what happened during his tenure here, in some ways that was what a lot of fans wanted to hear.
Right, right. And he also mentioned about Walsh's contract expiring, what did he say, June or July? And that, they would deal with that when it's time to.
I said that they had decided that after the trading deadline is when they would address it. Stoudemire with the block, but a foul. And he got to be careful. Scott Wall, good job not giving him a technical. The initial emotional reaction, which he's been teed up before this year. Wall did a good job just kind of walking away and let him express himself for a quick second.
Mute's had trouble. He missed a couple of dunks inside. And right there, I don't know. He gets away as he goes to the line to shoot two.
Mute, his third year. He's only 24 years old. A second-round pick out of UCLA, born in Cameroon. One of 9 kids. And he plays like one of 9 kids. I know growing up in a family of 5, fighting at the dinner table, make sure you got as much as you can. He is a fighter out on the court. Terrific defensive player, high energy. Never a scorer. Even in college, he wasn't a scorer.
Yeah, he's a good defensive player, rebounder, but starting to augment his score.
4-point Knick lead. Billups too strong again. Sean Williams gets the Knicks to new 24. Stoudemire looking. Now puts up the jump shot. Delfino stepped out of bounds. Knicks with another 24.
Good job by Douglas that time. Along the baseline, so the Knicks will have it.
Here, Knicks basketball presented by Chase. With just over 3.5 remaining in the third. Anthony drives. Offensive foul. Boy, Delfino, a couple of nice defensive plays. And Anthony picks up his third personal.
Yeah, excellent job by Delfino moving his feet. Watch how he gets in front of him. He anticipates what Anthony's going to do. And he puts his body there by moving his feet, not his hands.
And again, you can be moving and still draw the charge. He did an excellent job, and Anthony initiated the contact. Now we have another foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's 4.
That'll send him to the bench right there. That will take him out of his misery for a while.
Crowd not appreciative of him going to the bench as Billy Walker will check in.
Carmelo, one of the more prolific players in the third quarter. We know about Stoudemire in the fourth quarter.
Carmelo Anthony, as you see, number 7. He wore number 15 in Denver. Obviously, that's not going to happen here. As Bogut can't connect with Earl the Pearl and the late Dickie McGuire having that number retired. But a bunch of number 7s recently. Oh, Phillips and a foul. Looked like it might be a turnover. Stayed with the play and a chance for a 3-point play.
Good perseverance by Phillips. It's actually too much dribbling, but it pays off. Behind the back, looked like he was going nowhere, and then the swoop to the hoop. And the 92% free throw shooter.
That went through it went through Delfino's legs. I don't think that was intended. Well, that'll make some highlights. Knicks up 7. Douglas trying to slow down Jennings. Bogut got a double-double tonight. Good help there from Douglas, but it leaves Delfino open. No, nice recovery from Walker. And the Knicks, that's a kick, so they'll reset the shot clock to 14. Good play from Billy Walker there to prevent an open shot.
Let's take a look at Phillips' dexterity off the dribble. Looked like he went between Delfino's legs. Delfino's has been a demon on the defense, but that time goes right between his legs and the swoop to the hoop. So the Bucks will have it when we return.
Knicks leading the Bucks by 7. New York Knicks basketball presented by Chase. Of course, both teams Knicks in the playoff picture right now. The Bucks trying to get there. They're in the 10th spot. And as you see, they're 4 back in the loss column of the final playoff spot. And the Knicks currently in the 6th spot. And more than likely, Clyde, it's going to be hard for the Knicks. It's still too early to tell what type of team this is going to be with the new additions. But it will be hard for them to catch Atlanta and Orlando. Meanwhile, Philadelphia continues to be one of the surprises. How about that? 1 game shy of 500. The 2 new Knicks sitting on the bench. Meanwhile, Anthony Carter, Corey Brewer, as Ilya Sova hits it down. Some of the other new Knicks, Sheldon Williams, have not played. Douglas on the drive. Tony Douglas, 7 of 8 from the field. He's got 15 points in 15 minutes. Jennings on the drive. Good help defense there from Sean Williams.
Swarming Nick D now.
Salmon's up top. And Getty launches a 3. Boy, their 3-point shooting is superb. 9 of 16.
And that's an aberration, folks. Normally make 5 of 16.
As we said earlier, 28th in the league in 3-point shooting. Under 2 to play in the third. Stoudemire goes to Bogut. Offensive foul. Knicks have tried to force the issue a number of times. And Stoudemire and Carmelo Anthony each with 4 fouls.
Stoudemire staring down the official. And again, a good job by the officials just ignoring him rather than teeing him up.
So Stoudemire will sit. The Knicks 2 high scores.
She went folly, just charging over guys rather than pulling up, shooting a baby jumper.
Now, he needs to sit down. Remember, he has 14 technical fouls. 2 more and he's suspended for a game.
He's asking for it, man.
And he got some leeway earlier. Scott Wally said did a good job letting him react. McGinn comes off the screen. And Ilya Sova able to get to it. beyond dueling.
See the Bucks opening up the court now, making the Knicks play some deep. They're doing a good job of moving the ball around, finding the open man. There's Ilyasova.
Steps back. He's a good shooter from outside. At that time, Delfino comes in. Everybody was looking at the ball. He's the only one that went for it. Maggette fouled.
Maggette very omnipotent out there. Made a 3-ball previously. This time tried in the baseline to draw the foul. So the onus on the Knicks backup now to try to maintain this lead.
They've hit 20 of 24 from the line. D'Antoni pleading his case to Greg Willard. Are you the smartest Knicks fan? Well, you can prove it. Answer Knicks trivia correctly on your mobile phone and be entered to win a pair of tickets to the Knicks Hornets game Wednesday, March 2nd. Text SMART to 564-257 and get started. We have to start bringing our trivia question stuff back.
Yeah, what happened to the trivia? We got too good for them?
No, we ran out of questions where you were the answer.
That wasn't so funny.
Sean Williams on the run. Nice play off the dribble from Sean Williams. We had a stretch there that one year where you were the answer like 7 straight weeks. Maggette left open and knocks it down. Again, the three-point shot is what's kept Milwaukee so close. Tony Douglas again. And Douglas is the Knicks' leading scorer tonight.
And that's what's keeping the Knicks in the game is Douglas.
And we talked about this earlier with Phillips probably not able to play as many minutes as Felton. Douglas minutes will go up.
They have no other point guard.
Bogut misses. Billy Walker's get it. The Knicks will hold it for the final shot. Well, Anthony Carter can play point guard. He might get a chance.
Yeah, Bucks have a foul to give, and they use it right there.
Anthony Carter, part of the Nuggets who came in the deal.
Yeah, I like Carter. Remember he's with Miami, very persistent guy.
Remember in the playoffs he hit that shot behind the backboard?
Yeah.
He's a real pro. You talk to anybody who's been on one of his teams and they talk about his professionalism and work ethic. Douglas puts it in. Tony Douglas from downtown. Maggette trying to draw contact, and that won't go. Tonight where some new Knicks are getting the headlines and much of the applause. It's an old favorite, Tony Douglas, erupting for 20 points in 17 minutes. 9 of 10 from the field for the Knicks backup point guard. It was Legends Night at halftime, the debut of Carmelo Anthony. As we head to the fourth quarter, the Knicks leading by 7. Huge buzz in the building before the game. Such excitement with the debut of Carmelo Anthony and Chauncey Billups. The Knicks find themselves in a dogfight against a team that's 12 games under 500. Has lost 5 in a row on the road. The Bucks always seem to give the Knicks problems. Knicks have lost 4 straight here at the Garden to Milwaukee. They were beaten badly by Scott Skiles' team earlier this season, although that was way back in November and a different team.
Swept the Knicks last season, winning 3. They only played them 3 times.
Maggette. That one halfway down. Tony Douglas has been one of the real stars. Right on cue, he throws up a brick. Douglas has played well. 9 of 11 from the field. Leading scorer in the game with 20. And Maggette's going to have a field day. That's a very difficult cover for Billy Walker. You see Anthony set to check back in.
But he has the 4 fouls as Anthony, so Maggette's a tough cover for anybody.
Nice setup from Fields, and Walker can't hit. Tony Douglas unable to hold on.
Nice try by Tony.
You always worry about the photographers underneath there. They do such a great job, but it's so close sometimes. You just worry about guys turning ankles.
Yeah, it's dangerous. They have no place to go, the photographers.
They take the brunt as well.
Price you pay for fame, Mike.
'86-'81. Knicks by 5. Dueling. Fight for the rebound. Sean Williams goes through a few guys' hands. How'd you like to be a paparazzi, Clyde?
No way.
Anthony on the drive. Good defense from Maggette. That might be the toughest shot of the night, and that's the one he puts in.
That was his most difficult shot. Gyrating, hanging in the air, and then switching it through.
Anthony has 18 points, but he's just 7 of 18 from the field. Delfino steps back, and that one off the mark. Sean Williams, his 6th rebound.
So the Knicks trying to make ground now. The Bucks one and done.
Delfino now on Anthony, trying to draw the foul.
Good job by Delfino, staying on his feet.
Douglas, offensive foul again. John Brockman draws the charge. Was he in the restricted area?
Let's take a look. Nope.
Good call. Good defense. That's the 5th charge they've drawn.
Brockman. Very intrepid play, sacrificing his body.
Stolen by Douglas.
Oh, Walker's open.
Good hands to deflect it. I think it was Dooling that got a piece of it.
Oh, he missed Delfino. He was open 20 minutes ago.
And Delfino, he got hit, but missed the layup, so he'll get 2 free throws.
That's what happens when you're dribbling with your head down. Delfino was open the entire time before you saw him. So that was a little NBA follies. Dooling turns it over, then Douglas. And now Delfino at the line to shoot.
Delfino in his 6th year in the league. One of the 5 players from Argentina who won a gold medal back in 2004. His 2nd year in Milwaukee. He's played with Detroit, Toronto, and now the Bucks.
He's doing a good job on the defense.
Friday at 6:30, Coach D breaks down the Carmelo trade. Plus Landry Fields talks about his all-star experience and his rookie journal. Friday 6:30, leading into the Knicks and Cavs, all part of Friday Night Knicks, the Mike D'Antoni Show.
I'm happy the Cavs beat somebody before we get there.
That was like the most pressure-filled game for every team. Same thing, you didn't want to lose at home to the Wizards before they finally won on the road. I know, I've said this before, you just have to feel so bad for the Cavalier fans. On the cusp for championship as Fields misses. And now, with LeBron James gone.
Back to futility, man.
Delfino. And Walker trying to get it. Good battle from Delfino.
Ball hit the rim, and shot clock.
You know, Clyde, what will be very interesting to see is how Denver reacts to Carmelo Anthony not playing. Shot blocked by Williams. They won last night, and none of the Knicks who came over in the trade played. Anthony puts it up, puts it in, 3-pointer for Carmelo Anthony, and that puts the Knicks back up by 9. Timeout, Milwaukee, and a standing ovation for Carmelo Anthony.
And Melo trying to erupt from his offensive stupor. Made 2 superb moves now. Previously inside of the arc. And this time, right there, painting them from downtown. Time
for our Hyundai game summary. You see the Knicks shooting and good defense holding the Bucks to 39%. Bucks have been able to get to the line, get some offensive rebounds. You see Anthony shooting. He's not shot well, but he's hit 2 big shots here in this fourth quarter to help the Knicks go up 9. Good ball denial from Douglas. Again, short. And Anthony another rebound. 9 boards for Carmelo Anthony. Anthony on the drive. Here comes the double team. Walker goes right back to him. Shot clock at 2. He's going to have to put it up. And just gets it off in time. And that's what you talked about earlier, Clyde. Holding the ball sometimes too much.
Yep, not moving.
Oh, nice defense. Sean Williams has played a very good defensive game.
He's a good defender. I like his tenacity on the D. Move it.
Billy Walker. Fight for the rebound. Fields keeps it alive and gives the Knicks a new 24. Fields straight on 3. Here's Dooley on a drive. And a foul. The Knicks did not get back well enough.
Feline quickness by Doolin. He's had a superb game. Early on, the 3-ball had that going. Watch the quickness right there. A little shake and then wheels to the basket.
11 points off the bench for Dooley. Stoudemire with his 4 fouls returns.
That's another option they have, Mike, like Miami used to do early on with Wade and James. One guy's in the game, the other guy's on the bench. So that way they weren't running into each other. They were very productive.
Both Stoudemire and Anthony each with 4 fouls. Sean Williams has 5. Douglas felt he was fouled. The strip and Dooley down the other end. And suddenly it's back to 5.
That's the type of perseverance these Bucks have shown all evening.
Knicks with 15 turnovers. Douglas kicks it out. Wide open 3. Bucks have struggled on the road this year, just 8 of 21. Douglas trying to get Jennings. Jennings, nice move. And Mike D'Antoni wants a timeout.
Jennings would not be denied that time. Douglas on his case, but in vain as he was able to wheel inside.
6 straight points by Milwaukee, Clyde.
Previously dueling off the glass and a free throw. And now Jennings the finger roll.
In these uncertain times, look after yourself, your family, your friends. But know when it comes to your finances, we are here for you.
What can I do for you today?
Take a look at the portfolio and make adjustments.
I'm free to chat if you have any more questions.
Our JP Morgan advisors are working from home to help guide you through this. For more than 200 years, we've helped our clients navigate historic challenges. And we will get through this one together.
Carmelo Anthony, 21 points and 9 rebounds. There's the Knicks with a slim lead here in the fourth quarter. Coming up, it's the Foxwoods Final 5. Go to Foxwoods.com for special offers or to pre-register for your Dream Rewards card. Scott Skiles' team last year won 46 games, one of the real surprises, but this year injuries have really hurt them. That's our Emblem Health Injury Report. The plan that works. Michael Redd still hoping to come back from last year's knee injury. But Delfino missed 30+. Gooden is still out with his foot problems. Jennings missed 19. Bogut, Salmons. Bogut's not healthy 100%. They tried to, again, after such a fine season last year, and they still have a chance to get in the playoffs. But it has not been an easy season for the Bucks.
Yeah, because of the lack of scoring. They work diligently on the defense, but you still have to put points on the board. Right now, they're doing a good job staying close to the Knicks.
A 3-point game with 6 to play. Anthony to Fields, and he's fouled by Salmons. first team foul against Milwaukee.
None shooting. So the Knicks will have it along the side.
4 fouls on Salmons. Billups looking. Anthony on the pull. Fight for the rebound. Tipped and taken by Doolin.
Oh,
Jennings creates, kicks it out, and an offensive foul. That three-pointer will not count. Chauncey Billups steps in and draws the charge.
Chauncey showing his savvy with the flop that time. Jennings, the cardinal sin of passing, jumping in the air, and Billups makes him pay.
Jennings, the fastest player in NBA history to score 55 points. He did it in his 7th career game last year as a rookie. Fields floats it up and in. Nice backer from Landry Fields.
Yeah, take that to the bank.
Douglas trying to force Jennings where there's help. Jennings still keeps his dribble wisely. Delfino left open and knocks down another three.
That's sweet harmony right there. 4 or 5 passes to find that open man.
They're 10 for 21 from three-point range. And it's a 2-point game. Billups draws the foul. And he'll get to the line again. Doolin has 4. Billups 6 for 6 from the line.
Take a look at contagious passing right here. 2, 3, 4. On the elbow, an uncontested shot. Nice dishing by the Bucks. Then Billups comes right back. You know he's a lethal free throw shooter, 92%.
Billups, one of the things George Karl used to always say about Chauncey Billups is that he's not a statistical player. You can't measure what he does for a team in stats, even though he has good, solid stats. But his intangibles and his command of the game.
Yep. Leadership qualities that he possesses on the court.
Right, you mentioned this earlier. The Bucks do a very good job of spreading the floor.
Yep, making you play some defense.
Delfino fakes, shot clock at 2. Now that's a 2-pointer, and Delfino can't get it to go. Stoudemire with the rebound, his 4th. Doolin trying to put some pressure. Stoudemire gets the pass, count it, off the mark with a foul.
You know why he was open? Melo was on the low post trying to get open. They were watching him, and then Stoudemire saw an opening to go to the basket. Watch this, they're going to focus on Melo. See Melo right there. Bogut, see what Bogut is doing? And then that gave Murray the step that he needed to beat him down the middle.
You're watching the Foxwoods Final 5. Go to foxwoods.com for special offers or to pre-register for your Dream Rewards card. That's calling 2 guys on the floor that you've got to be knowledgeable of where they are at all times. 97-91. With just over 4 to play.
We come back to what we always talk about, the Knicks. Got to get stops. Got to get stops.
Salmons wide open and it easily hits the 3.
Got to get stops.
3-point game. Boy, they're just, it's got to be their best night from 3-point range this season. Stoudemire draws the foul as he tried to throw it down.
See again, Bogut took his eye off of Amari, and that gave him a step inside. And we talk about chemistry. You're seeing chemistry here, folks. Previously, Billups found Stoudemire in the middle. This time, Melo finds him going inside.
You see Mike D'Antoni trying to... It's actually Tony Douglas, the one he's yelling at, the guy that knows the plays. Stoudemire hitting the free throw. Knicks from the free throw line, 19 of 21.
Yeah, they lost one superb free throw shooting Gallo and acquired another one in Phillips.
Under 4 to play. This one's been nip and tuck. No double-figure leads in the second half. Nice entry pass. Salmons to Bogut.
Stoudemire got caught behind him that time. That was a premeditated play.
Oh, dangerous pass. Anthony sidesteps. Can't get it to go. And Bogut the rebound. Anthony arguing the call. Needs to get back as Jennings drives down a lane. This is the layup. Here comes Phillips. Tony Douglas for 3. Bang! Tony Douglas with 23 points, and the Knicks back up by 6.
Ironically, that's his number. So he put his number tonight, number 23. Bogut likes a little hook shot with the left and the right hand. Now he travels.
Yeah, we'll have a timeout. How about Tony Douglas with 23 points on 10 of 12 from the field. 3 3-pointers for Douglas.
And none bigger than this one. Uncontested on the
Milwaukee Bucks. As Tony Douglas has hit another big 3 to give him some room. And Carmelo Anthony's debut. And we'll hear from Carmelo Anthony and the new Knicks and Mike D'Antoni on the Ford Knicks postgame show coming up immediately following the first game after the big blockbuster trade that was endorsed by Amari Stoudemire. Now, Stoudemire's only taken 12 shots tonight. Anthony 22. That's going to be the key, that there's no problem when one guy takes more.
As long as they win, Mike. The bottom line.
You're not kidding, Clyde.
That's it.
Phillips to Anthony. Anthony inside, blocked by Bogut. He's forced a couple of shots here as Jennings kicks it out to Doolin.
Good transition deep, but Jennings all the way to do.
And no help as Jennings beats Fields off the dribble.
Yeah, Fields knows he didn't do the right thing. Make him shoot from the perimeter.
Knicks cannot shake these Bucks. Almost a turnover. Oh, what a pass! And Stoudemire the finish. Phillips from behind the back for his 8th assist of the night.
Knicks can be aggressive. They have a foul to give.
Salmons. Delfino drives on Douglas. Now steps back for a 2-pointer. Bogut tips it, but right to Phillips. Stoudemire out of control. Amari Stoudemire with another offensive foul. That's his 5th.
That play is inexplicable because you have the lead. You have the ball. What are you doing? You have the lead. You have the ball. Run some clock, guys.
6-point game. Just over a minute and a half remaining. Salmons, and again, no help. Mike D'Antoni wants timeout. Nope, he's not going to call time. Delfino bodies right up on Anthony. Anthony the drive and finish. No help down the other end, and Anthony slams it home. He's got 23.
You don't want a foul, and you don't want to, well, they have a foul to give still. Don't give up the 3-ball here.
Salmons to the basket, and a blocking foul call. He was in the restricted area.
Let's take a look at Melo. They've started to feature him down the stretch.
Well, Stoudemire has fouled out. And
look at the baseline, wide open. He takes it with the sweet stuff.
The Knicks, meanwhile, and Stoudemire very fortunate. Here's the play again. But down the other end, Clyde, after Stoudemire was called for the foul, he threw his glasses, and they didn't see it. That would have absolutely been a technical foul. And he's got to calm down.
He's been very lucky tonight. He's been asking for it.
Did he get one? Oh, he did get one. So They didn't see the official form the tee. That's his 15th technical of the season.
He had 2 rescinded, Mike.
Yeah, he would have had 17.
Yeah, he's had 2 rescinded, so.
And he simply has to control himself better on that. Next one, and he's suspended for a game. And especially in a game like this, where it's a 5-6 point game, every point so important. Salmons hit some free throws. 4-point game, final minute. Huge possession right here.
Delfino all over Melo right now.
That's a 3. Douglas comes flying in for the offensive boards.
And he's stolen the show tonight as Douglas.
Phillips stops. Still plenty of time left on the shot clock, and they'll reset. Anthony calling for it. Drives in, puts up the shot, puts it in. Big bucket from Carmelo Anthony. Timeout, Milwaukee.
But it's been the Tony Douglas show tonight. So Tony coming up with a big rebound, giving him that opportunity.
25 for Anthony, but Douglas, the offensive board, gave Anthony that opportunity.
Let's take a look at the ubiquity of Douglas astounding the Bucks tonight. So he's been switching, had his number at one time, 23 points. And then Melo finally finding the range down the stretch after Stoudemire is fouled out.
Stoudemire fouling out for the 2nd time this season. But with him out, Knicks still have a prime score. Anthony calling for the ball.
And you see this crowd is still here. No one heading for the exit. They're going to savor this victory tonight.
And there you see the most points in a Knicks debut.
Dick Barnett in the house tonight. He was one of the legends that were honored tonight, along with Allen Houston.
All right, 26.8 seconds remaining. 108 to 102.
You see the capacity crowd still here standing, cheering their heroes.
Almost stolen by Anthony, but Salmon's open. Now pulls up for the shot, knocks it down. And that's the one guy they don't want to foul, as Chauncey Billups will shoot free throws with 21.5 remaining.
Kudos to these Bucks. So they did not quit. They knew they were sort of sacrificial lambs tonight with all the hoopla going on in here with Melo. So they gave the Knicks all they could handle. Look like it might be over now as Billups goes to the line.
Billups has taken 295 free throws this year. He's only missed 22.
Yep. It makes these, looks like the buck will stop here, Mike.
That makes it a 5-point game. Stoudemire's still mad, by the way, of fouling out. Billups a good all-around game. He also has 6 rebounds. And Skiles will call time with 21.5 remaining. And a 6-point difference. Billups 19 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and only 2 turnovers in 33 minutes. The Knicks would love to get the victory here tonight because they go on the road for 3 games after this evening. Alexa's upcoming schedule in Cleveland on Friday night. And then 2 very difficult games in Miami and in Orlando.
And then the March Madness, like.
Well, you can see every other game and on the road, tough to get a lot of practice time in.
Yeah, 18 games in 30 days.
Now, they'll practice tomorrow before they fly to Cleveland.
But after tonight, it's going to be more of a walkthrough. You know, Melo's exhausted, so is Billups. So there's not much they can do in form of asserting themselves.
Quick inbound, Salmons. Turiaf gets up on in. Salmons feeds Bogut. 16 seconds remaining. Pretty good quick score there from Milwaukee. 4-point game again. Oh, and he throws it away. Fields out to Dooling. Dooling misses. Anthony a big rebound, and he's fouled. His 10th rebound. And now Anthony will shoot free throws.
Shades of Reggie Miller, folks. In that same spot, an errant pass, but Dooling could not get it down.
A rare mistake by Fields, who always shows such poise. And you hear a chant of Melo from the Garden crowd.
Very vociferous Melo.
He received such an ovation when he came out on the floor for warm-ups. And then in the starting lineups.
And again, this crowd has not left, folks. They're enjoying this one. Remember, Melo's still a very popular player because he played collegiately at Syracuse and also leading them to the title as a freshman.
11 fourth-quarter points for Carmelo Anthony. And the Knicks with some clutch free throws to hold the Milwaukee Bucks at bay. 11.4 seconds remaining. Knicks up 6. Bucks ball when we come back. His Knick debut, but hitting some huge shots here in the fourth quarter. He scored 11 points in the fourth for Mike D'Antoni. And we'll hear their analysis on the Ford Knicks postgame. Al Trotwood, Kelly Tripucka will be in the studio. We'll have the interviews with all the new Knicks. As they need this to hang on here. They've hit 10 for 10 from the foul line in the fourth quarter, Clyde.
Yep.
First Phillips and 2 clutch ones, and then Carmelo Anthony.
Stoudemire also an excellent free throw shooter. So 3 guys down this stretch that you can ill afford to foul. Knicks obviously don't want to foul here.
Bucks really need to think, because they need 2 threes. They really need to think 3 here. Hogan right back, dueling drives, and misses it. Tip is good with 6.4 remaining. It's still a 2-possession game. And Billups quickly fouled by Salmons. That didn't make sense. They really needed a 3. Billups hearing stuff to make him laugh from the crowd.
Crowd still standing the last minute of the game. And this is how they started the game. Standing during the introduction, before the introduction.
And while Salmons is fouled out, 27 points, 7 assists for Salmons. And a chant of Chauncey Billups. We said it right. The fans were chanting during warm-ups for crying out loud. In a jubilant boo. He will become a fan favorite for the way he plays. We've talked before, one of the ultimate professionals we've seen, Clyde, over the years.
Yep. He and Douglas can be a formidable duo in the backcourt, improving the Knicks defense.
How about Phillips? 11 for 11 from the free throw line. And the Knicks have hit all 11 of their free throws here in the fourth, make it 12 for 12. And that'll do it. The Knicks get the victory in the debut of the new roster. Jennings misses. A nice ovation. Carmelo Anthony wins in his Knick debut. 27 points and 10 rebounds. He had 11 in the fourth quarter and 6 rebounds. And Amari Stoudemire had some help in a game that he fouled out. And the Knicks get their 3rd straight win.
But it was the Tony Douglas show getting his number tonight. 23 points. And some key rebounds as well down the stretch.
Douglas, excellent game with 23 points in 29 minutes. He was 10 of 12 from the field. Anthony gets his victory in his debut, and he's with Tina.
Mike, thank you. Carmelo, it's only been just over 24 hours since the trade became official, and you have already debuted, got a huge introduction at Madison Square Garden, and won your first game as a member of the Knicks. What does all of this mean to you?
It's a great moment for me. I'm never going to forget this moment. This is my first game of many here in the Garden. The fans was great tonight. I was a little excited to get in this game going. As you can hear, man, we're going to have a lot of great times here in this arena.
What are you thinking of these Melo chants?
I love them, man. I'm home.
At halftime, you told Al Trotwood you were just trying to get used to the system. This team was just put together this afternoon, but you finished with 27 points, 10 rebounds. Your teammate that came with you, Chauncey Billups, also a key game. Did it feel like a team?
Well, we're basketball players. We're professional basketball players, and we get paid to do this, regardless of what's the situation. We came in. Some of us came in this morning. Some of us came in at night. We gelled to the best of our ability tonight. We got a long season, but it started tonight with this one.
Carmelo, thank you. We'll be talking to you a lot.
Thank you. Appreciate it, y'all.
I would say that's a very nice, warm welcome from the fans. And it ends in a victory as the Knicks defeat the Milwaukee Bucks 114 to 108. Much more to come.